Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello and welcome to Teach Me Tech. I'm your host, Laurel Grey, and I'm joined today by the wonderful Trent McLaren from Intuit Quickbooks Online, Australia. My gosh, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, look, it's repetitive. We're Australian. We summarise things down a little bit. So
yeah. So is there an Australianized name for QuickBooks?
Yeah, we go QBO.
QBO.
Yeah.
All right. So if we refer to QuickBooks Online today as QBO, you'll know what we're talking about. Let me run through with everyone what we're going to cover today on Teach Me Tech, and then we're just going to dive in because there's so much to cover today.
Heaps.
Yeah.
Be excited.
Yay. Thank you for being here.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
So what we're going to talk about today is how to get started with QuickBooks Online, and here is what we're going to cover. Why you need to utilize cloud accounting in your business. We'll go through that general discussion. Why you would use QuickBooks Online and what you need to know before moving. Setting up your account for the first time and what you need to know all around that. And then understanding your dashboard in QuickBooks Online. Connecting your bank feed and bank accounts. Downloading the QuickBooks Online mobile app. I'm excited about that part. Setting up payroll. Connecting other applications to QuickBooks Online. And finally, how to get the most out of QuickBooks Online. And as always, we'll be talking about some further integrations. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
So we always start every episode with a little bit of conceptual information. And we are talking about QuickBooks Online, a cloud-based accounting software. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about why would you need to use cloud accounting?
Yeah, definitely. So cloud accounting, which we know in Australia, is taking over the country by force. Australia is a leader in cloud accounting, mobile devices, mobile adoption. We love it, and I think it just because we love new technology and we want to be at the front of everything we do. So what we see with cloud accounting is that it just opens up your business to be more innovative. You can improve efficiencies within your business. You can do things faster and quicker. And this becomes a new way to have competitive advantage, to deliver cloud experiences or customer experiences that you couldn't deliver before. So taking that first step to adopting cloud accounting and then the ecosystem that evolves with that is just a natural progression for small businesses here in Australia. So it's amazing. But even globally, it's something we're seeing take over the world. So you're on the right channel. This is going to be a great session for you.
What percentage, I don't know if you know this statistic, but in Australia specifically, do you know what percentage of businesses are on cloud accounting at the moment?
Yeah, last time I checked, our adoption was around 15 or 18% from the top of my head. So we're only a small way through. We'd say early majority of small businesses are on the cloud at the moment. So that still leaves another 80% of the country, if not more, that need to make the jump. And they will over the next couple of years as technology evolves, as computers need upgrading. More and more people are thinking there's got to be an easier way to do this where I don't have to install software to one device or one laptop. It gives us the ability to use any device on any laptop wherever you are, as long as you've got your internet connection, which, as we know, is getting better every day. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And with QuickBooks Online, you guys have got not only obviously the browser-based application, but you have and the iPad app. You've got the iPhone application.
You got it.
What about for Android?
Yeah, so we do Android as well as the iOS. Otherwise, it is a mobile-friendly solution. So you can over it in your browser, on your device, iPad, phone, or if it's a Windows device, you can still access it through any sort of online browser.
Cool. And let's say people that are following along, would they be able to set up the application directly on the app, or do they have to do it?
Definitely. So you can download the app on your phone today and get started with a free trial, or you can choose a plan that you want to get started on. So it's very simple, very easy to do, which is awesome.
Excellent. And I have another question, if that's okay.
Sure.
I guess I'm just wondering around sort of case studies. Obviously, you've onboarded or you've transferred a lot of customers onto QuickBooks Online.
Yes, definitely.
Has there ever been a customer where you've seen a huge transformation in one day just after setting up the software? Can you share some stories?
I'd love to. So a lot of the stories I see are people that have been using a desktop computer, and they come to me and they say, Trent, how do we do this more efficiently? How can we do this faster and better? And I'm like, okay, well, run me through what you do at the moment. And I say, okay, well, I go and a tradesman, I'll go and do a job, or I'll go and quote a job, or go and meet a client. And then once I meet that client, I'll do the rest of my jobs in the day. I go home, I open up Word on my computer, and I'll start typing out every single quote. And then I may email, and in some instances, people still post via mail, because that's something people still do. And within implementing QuickBooks Online, within the first day, he's pulled out his phone or his iPad or his Android tablet. He's been able to do a quote on the spot. He's been able to get a digital signature to say, yes, I would like to, the customers confirm they want to take that job. Convert that straight to an invoice. They can then issue that invoice and email it straight to the customer. Customer can review it straight away, and the customer can actually pay it straight away using online payment systems like PayPal or Square or whatever it may be that the customer wants to use. So we're seeing that timeline of getting paid reduced from sort of 60 to 90 days down to, in some instances, 5 to 10 minutes. So it's
amazing.
The more options you give a customer to pay you, they're more likely to pay you. So
yeah, that's true. And the easier that you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, with that business, that sounds like that's more of like a trades business.
Yes.
Perhaps. And obviously we can see the need for a plumber, for an electrician to go out and have QuickBooks Online and see a result immediately. Are there any other weird or strange industries that you've seen get a lot out of it?
I've seen a lot of weird and strange industries. But any type of business that needs to track their financials can use QuickBooks Online. Primarily, we target our small businesses here in Australia, and that's where we do specialise. So that could be anyone, like I said, that needs to track how much they're making, how much they're spending, and then comparing that year on year. Or maybe you want to do specialised job costing reporting to see if we're actually making money on the work that we're doing. So there's no real limit. I mean, we fit sort of 90 to 95% of all small businesses. There's not too much that you can't do in QuickBooks Online that won't allow you to track your finances accordingly.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess in terms of type of business as well, obviously works easily for service-based businesses, but how about for brick and mortar businesses? And in terms of like, let's say you're a cafe or a restaurant, do you have a lot of those types of customers?
Definitely. So I'd say retail, hospitality and trades are probably our top 3 industries, and they're probably the most industries we have here in Australia. And a lot of the reason is because today you can connect your point of sale systems in store that automatically feed data into QuickBooks Online. So the inventory automatically updates, or if I've made a purchase online through an e-commerce website, that's automatically updating into QuickBooks, generating a sales receipt, updating the inventory, and then giving you a notification to say, hey, you've been paid, you need to ship this order, and it's all pretty magically cool.
Yeah, it sounds like everything is completely streamlined.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is the future of where all small businesses headed. So it's not a kind of, should I jump on the cloud? It's when will I jump onto cloud accounting and hopefully QuickBooks Online.
That's great. That's a really good segue as well to what we're going to talk about next, which is why you would use QuickBooks Online and really what you need to know before you move.
Yeah.
And that's the question that I get asked all the time. It's like, when's the best time, actually, is the first one.
Yeah, there's a lot of people have different views. It depends who you ask. If you chat with your accounting and bookkeeping professionals, a lot of those partners will like to start you off on a new financial year. And then sometimes, because it is the busiest time of the year for those industries, they actually recommend you could do it, even a month or 2 months after, when there hasn't been too much transaction history. So we're filming right now this in July, sorry. So it's a great time for people to start looking at these things and moving across. Why you would use QuickBooks Online? We are one of the largest applications globally, with over 1.4 million users worldwide. We've only been in Australia for a short amount of time, and we're already making waves to be a top contender for software that you should choose when you're selecting a financial management system. So things you need to know before moving. You need to have all your records up to date. So whatever data you've got in your current accounting system, make sure you've got everything reconciled and all the data is perfect as it is, so that when you bring it over into QuickBooks Online, there's no issues and the data integrity is still matched. But we've all heard the saying, garbage in, garbage out. So if the integrity of your file is sort of rubbish when you've got it, and then you go to move it into QuickBooks, the data's still going to be rubbish. So I just recommend tidy it up, have your bookkeeper accountant tidy it up, and even get their support. We try to make that easy by offering a free conversion service from some other of the accounting software providers here in Australia, which we also do worldwide. So if you are using a particular system and you want to see if we can do the free conversion, just check out our website and you'll see a conversion link on the homepage.
Let's say somebody's coming over and they don't have any cloud accounting system at all. They're completely starting from scratch.
Yeah.
When you mention, because even for me, I'm not really in the accounting space as much. When you mentioned starting with really clean data and having everything reconciled, how would you do that if you're coming from a spreadsheet?
Yeah, if you're coming from a spreadsheet, again, I'd always encourage to engage a bookkeeper or an accountant to help review the data that you've got. It is actually a lot easier coming in, I find, from things like Excel spreadsheets, or some people are still doing pen and paper, believe it or not. And we can do a simple import of customers, suppliers, if there's a chart of accounts you like using, and we can even start importing your bank feed, so all of your bank statements from, it could be 90 days, 180 days, it depends on how much data you've got. But it actually can be pretty easy if you're not coming from an accounting system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you do recommend get it checked over by a professional.
Definitely. They're professionals for a reason. We don't all sort of, unless you've gone out to study finance, there's probably a reason why you didn't, if you didn't have a passion for it. And there's people out there that you can engage and pay to help you get that all sorted and make that part of your life easier. Definitely recommend it.
Excellent. I always like to ask that question.
Yeah.
Because I'm really uncertain. I guess unless you're starting really from scratch at the beginning of the financial year.
Yeah.
Make sure you get everything looked at.
Well, the best thing about that is that they work with so many other small businesses, and if they're local to you in your area, so if they work with other industries that are similar to what you do, then there's a good chance they'll have a few things they can share with you on, do's and don'ts, and things that can really help you along your journey. So, I love being able to self-learn things on YouTube, Google, BRiN, because it's amazing and full of great content. But like I said, sometimes you really need to engage an expert because they will save you the time of trying to learn, for 5 to 10 hours. You're only scratching the surface when it comes to financials, whereas accounting and bookkeeping professionals, well, they've been studying for, some of them 3, 4, 5, 10 years, if not more, on this kind of stuff. So, it's a great way to start off on the right foot with your business.
Beautiful. I love that advice. I see a lot of people that try and do everything on their own. And certainly it sounds like it's easy to set up QuickBooks and get that going, but engage the advice of a professional before you get too far down the track.
#seriously easy, QuickBooks Online. It is, fantastic. You couldn't find an easier system to get started on.
Yeah, we don't want that to be too deceptive, I guess, and make sure people know that they need to go and get the right advice.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Anything else that people need to know before they move over? Any last minute tips or tricks?
Just that, as I mentioned before, being that we are one of the largest providers in the world, we've scaled and transformed our products so quickly. We have over 8,500 staff worldwide. Within that, there's over 2,500 developers. And in some instances, we've got more developers than other companies have total number of staff. So in terms of our flexibility to make things happen quickly, you couldn't find something as fast that can really turn it on when we need to.
Perfect. So it sounds like really good customer service.
You know it.
Woo-woo. All right. Lastly, setting up your account for the first time and all the things you need to know. So usually what we do at this point on Teach Me Tech is we kind of run through the landing page.
Yep.
Before we do that, is there anything that people need to know about, like any information that you need to gather before you go onto the website?
Yeah, look, you can go on the website, or if you want to check out reviews online, which most people do these days, and by all means, go search QuickBooks Online Reviews Australia, and you'll find a good comparison of why people love using QuickBooks Online. But outside of that, I'd just say we try to make this as easy as possible.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.